What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. I am Stevie the Military Biker. Today I want to talk to you guys about one of my favourite local brewing companies that are here in Southern Alberta, or based out of Southern Alberta, and are very much military orientated, and that is Buffalo 9 Brew Co. I am off to meet the owners of Buffalo 9 to have a chat with these guys, to speak to, just to spread the love and to spread the word about how, in my opinion, how awesome their little brewery, their little local brewery actually is. And I thought that I'd take you guys along for the journey. So welcome to the channel, welcome to the video, and today we're going to talk about these amazing people, the Buffalo 9 Brew Co. So stick around, hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you shortly.
Kelsey.
And I'm Lane.
With Buffalo 9 Brewing.
So guys, why did you, what made you want to start doing your own brew co, and why beer? Why would you want to do that?
Alright, well, all started back probably 12 years ago when I was trying to come up with something to buy Lane for a gift for Christmas. So I got him a beer kit that you just buy off the shelves. And we made it, and it was not to our satisfaction. So Lane, of course, growing up on a farm, wanted to start tinkering with his own recipes, and it was hook sinker from there. Where you fine-tuned your own recipes, making with local ingredients, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
that was 12 years ago. Was it 12 years ago? Yeah.
Yeah, we've been in it for a while.
Yeah.
Just Buffalo 9 itself has been in existence now just shy of 2 years.
One man's Christmas present turns into a brewery. So obviously, it's called Buffalo 9. Do you want to give us a little bit of back information on why you decided on Buffalo 9, and obviously where the logo, the origins of the logo comes from?
Yeah, sure. It's actually kind of got a dual meaning. We've always kind of been interested in military and with family ties to military history, that type of thing. So we started doing some research when we were coming up with the name, and came across a story about 9 Canadian peacekeepers that were shot down over Syria in a de Havilland Buffalo aircraft back in the early 70s. And a story that not many people even know about nowadays. So I thought that was kind of an interesting story. And then we actually figured out that Buffalo 9 also can relate to my hometown, which is right where I went to high school. It was right on the corners of the number 9 highway and the Buffalo highway, so it just tied right in. So yeah, so it was meant to be, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So what about the logo itself? Who came up with the design? Who was the bright spark, as it were, that came up with the design for that?
So we wanted to keep, obviously with the military theme. So we just kind of put our heads together and we just modeled it after the cap badges that the soldiers wore in the First World War, and just got a designer here in Calgary to help us out with it. She did an amazing job, and so
the mixture of the beer and the flag and the cap all at once. So with the hops, yeah.
So guys, obviously, right now you've got 3 beers on the market, and just like to talk about why you chose those different flavors and different beers, and then how you come up with the names of them, and obviously why you've kept it with the military theme for each can, which I think is fantastic, and how you come up with the name and the stories behind that. If you won't mind telling us a bit about that.
So we tried to cover, we knew we wanted a kind of a 3 or 4 core group of beers, and kind of wanted to cover the entire, as much of the spectrum of the beer world as we could, as well to appeal to the masses, so to speak. And our first beer was the Ridge by Midday IPA, so a little hoppier, kind of a fruity, citrusy, but in the craft beer world, IPAs kind of reign supreme and sell the most, so kind of naturally just started with that one. And then
We also felt though that the reason why we should have the Ridge by Midday as our first release was that it was felt that when the Canadians reached the Ridge by Midday, it was the
kind of a coming together as Canada as a nation, or so they say. So kind of fits with the brewery, that our brewery kind of
starts off
when
with
we
that.
finally released our first beer, that was kind of our coming together as well.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, obviously the story behind that is Vimy Ridge, isn't it? For those guys that don't know, obviously.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second beer.
Our Pilsner was second. We used that one for the summer. Easy drinking German style Pilsner beer. It's kind of more for the everyday beer drinker, and where you can sit down and have a few of them. And
Oh yeah, I can attest how good that one is.
So we did that one after the Battle of the Atlantic in World War II. We researched the name, and Kelsey is originally from Nova Scotia, Guysborough County, and the ship, if you read the side of the can, the story on the side is about the ship named the Guysborough, which is a minesweeper, Canadian minesweeper in the Second World War, and unfortunately it was sunk towards the end of the war. But so we just thought it was a good way to kind of honor where Kelsey's from and tell a bit of history about it.
It certainly is. I mean, the one thing that makes you guys unique, like I said to you before, is the size of your cans. They're not just your normal size cans; they're actually, proper UK man-size cans, which is great. And I think the artistry that is on the cans is fantastic. And again, that was what drew me to your guys as beers, was the fact that, especially being military myself, you take it and you think, wow, there's a story on every can,
Yes.
which most people can read and or can read on the back of it, and sort of brings home to why why the can is called what it is, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
But
We have to give a shout out to Hawk Design here in Calgary, is the ones we work with to bring the story to life. Essentially, the illustrations. So that's they've been a phenomenal crew to work
Yeah,
with. So.
they do a wonderful job for sure.
Yeah, fantastic. And what about the third one?
The third is exciting. So again, we've covered World War I, we've covered World War II, and we wanted to now bring it to our more recent veterans, and so we partnered up with Op Medusa, Blackbird Industries, and Whiskey Delta Golf to make the fighting season. And so this is our pale ale, and this is we released it just this past June. So this is our newest release, and again, it all started with, we knew, again, we wanted to bring it to the modern times, and we were trying to figure out what's that story going to be, what's the right one, so that we can really do this right. All of our beers, we want to make sure we do it right, and so we, Whiskey Delta Golf, Will, based out of Southern Alberta, he reached out to us randomly one day while he was drinking the Ridge, and he made a comment or something on social about really enjoying that beer and how it takes him back to the battlefield. And I just made a comment to his on social by saying, wow, you should write our blogs or something silly like that. And lo and behold, the phone rings and it's him, and he's like, guys, so we talked for hours. He just spilled out a bunch of stories, and so from that we were like, oh man, like, how can we make sure to get the right story? What's that right thing to tell? He got us aligned with Blackbird Industries and Op Medusa to bring this one for fruition. And Op Medusa's created the story, first person story, which really was awesome.
Yeah, all three are veterans of Afghanistan. And
They told
helped
it
us.
best,
Yeah.
right? And
They helped us with the name, the story,
The illustration.
how the picture should look on the can and everything.
Yeah.
So
right down to the lab,
So-
and then from there, that one essentially just blew up in popularity among all of our current and our veterans and current serving, and so grateful, absolutely grateful. That one is touches home. It's reunited. One of I think the best thing for us with this beer is that it's just reunited so many people where where they can all relate to it, and it's a buddyship really that they've all created around this beer. So whether you drink beer or not, the story, a lot of them want it just for a mantelpiece, right? The can.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I said about the art history that's on there, the
crazy.
artist work is fantastic. I think you'll find that most veterans and serving soldiers won't throw them in and recycle them. They'll probably keep them, like you said, put them on the shelf
Yeah.
because they are that good. They are.
Awesome.
So out of Yeah, so the three that you've got going so far, which one's your favourite, and which one is the public's favourite? Up to now.
My favorite is now the Pale Ale. I've always liked a little bit hoppy bitter. I mean, originally it was the Ridge because I like that, but now I'm settled in with the Pale Ale. But that's like a little bit of citrus, a little bit of hop and bitterness, and that covers it all for me. But you're different.
Lane, what about you, bud?
Probably the Pilsner is probably my go-to. It kind of depends on the mood, but I like a good IPA once in a while too. But as far as if I'm just gonna sit down and have a beer, it's usually the Pilsner.
Yeah. And what about sales-wise for which is your most favourite one out there on the market?
Well, I mean, recently the Pale Ale's been doing really, really well. But I think in the grand scheme of things, our IPA is still
And I think that's probably again like when you started off, because that's what craft beer, the true craft beer connoisseurs, so to speak, look for, right? So, but
the Ridge,
right? Yeah, the first release, yeah. So, but our Pale Ale and our Pilsner both won us awards in the Alberta Beverage Awards, so which we're phenomenally happy about.
Yeah, absolutely,
But yeah, it's our other last and final release.
Yeah.
Is
so we have a
our chocolate
seasonal.
stout.
Yeah. So we have a chocolate stout that we released last fall. It sold really well, so we just kind of kept it on until it was all sold out, and now we're rebrewing it again actually as we speak. So it should start appearing on shelves in a couple of weeks, and so it's delicious. Chocolate stout. We use cacao beans in the fermenter with it, and
Sisters in the Sky.
Yeah, called Sisters in the Sky. Tell the story about that.
Yeah, so this one, I wanted to give some. We wanted to give some, representation to the females in the military, because again, fairly underrepresented, and their stories most certainly, and so not just for our nowadays female vets, but back in World War I and II, of course, they were there.
Oh yeah.
And so this is sort of pays some homage to the Atta Girls, where it was 34, I believe, or 36 Canadians, females, who flew planes over on the front lines, and so that sort of plays.
Air Transport Auxiliary is the
I know the story behind those girls.
Yeah.
They used to deliver the planes to the actual. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. So we want, and people just.
Such a good story too, and one that not many people know about.
No.
So again, it was a good way for us to get the story out there, and so people can read about it and say, "Oh, that's cool," but just to realize how good of pilots they were. Like,
That's right. They had
your male pilots that were in active duty, trained to fly basically on one type of aircraft. Yeah. They had to learn 80 different kinds of aircraft.
And then an amazing story was we went to our local Legion, which remembers us. We walked in with the cans because we wanted to give them some, and so they could see all of our beer. But one lady came up to us, elderly lady, of course, and she's like, "I built those planes." And it was just like, heart sunk. We're like, "Oh my god!" And we sat down and we chatted with her for hours. But she was talking about like her literally making,
in Ontario in a factory. She used to build Spitfire fighter planes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
I mean, that was amazing too. Obviously, you're taking that in, the cans in, and you see the lady was, wow. So, guys, as a small brewery and as a small brew co, what sort of type of problems have you faced, over the last few years, and trying to break into that market that is, let's be honest, quite large and filled with breweries, and where do you see yourselves in a year's time? Let's say.
Yeah, when we first started out, of course, I think the main thing is, nobody knew who we were. And we had the distinction of releasing our first beer right when the COVID-19 pandemic hit as well. So that further hampered our marketing strategy.
Yeah,
So, I mean, Kelsey's been amazing through social media and reaching out and doing what we can to get our names out there, and I mean the beer's good and the labels and everything. So it's been challenging. It's been a lot of work, but we're getting there for sure. And things have been building up over time. We're all across Alberta now, so So that's looking
I think
good.
some of the challenges too for us right now, because we are a contract brewery, right?
Yeah.
So not only the brand and getting our name out there among the plethora that are available, but is you're sort of also at the mercy of another facility making your beer. So you're on their calendar, their schedule as to when they can fit you in. So even though we may want to release a seasonal, it may not happen because it won't get on their calendar because they're booked, right? They do this for many other, So it can be very stressful because
sure.
we have all intentions to
Love
get
it.
something out and then you miss that boat. And so that's why.
It also, being a contract brewery also kind of constricts how we can market and how we can sell our beer. So we need to go through certain avenues to do it, and places that have their own facility have kind of a lot more open doors on the ways that they can do it.
Yeah.
But with that said,
In a year's time. So within a year, to answer that question, maybe less than that. We are in the process right now of trying to secure our own location, our own tap room. So where we will make our own beer, we'll have a tap room for everyone to enjoy. We'll still ensure that our beer is able to get across Alberta, so that will not go away. But we'll be able to pump out a lot of specialty ones, or limited editions, if you will, specifically at the tap room, which will, again, get all of our releases out. And then also, further our ability to do fundraising events specifically, which has always been on our agenda for veterans and first responders. So we'll definitely be giving proceeds back in those areas.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is good. So in a year's time, I can sit in the corner on a little red chair getting drunk in your brewery. So
Your name will be on that chair.
So guys, obviously you everything that you brew is named after a military a themed thing. So what about your families? You guys have any history with the military, yourselves and family wise, or?
Yeah. So my grandfather served in World War II, and he was with the 1st Hussars, and I grew up. He had passed away before I was born, but I just always remember growing up with all of his medals in a case and his uniform, and my grandmother kept all of their love letters back and forth. So it was just a huge, deep-rooted meaning in our family, and so that has always been with me. And then of course, just in general, an admiration for our military and Canadian roots in general. And then you and I meet, and it just furthered because that was a commonality that we had.
Yeah. I had two uncles who served in the Second World War as well, in Italy and France, and a grandfather in the First World War. And like Kelsey mentioned, I've always been a history buff as far as military history goes, so it just kind of was a natural selection for us with the common theme there.
Yeah, and then since then, we just have met now so many amazing friends. They're absolutely friends, brotherhood, sisterhood, with our current, veterans and current serving. The community is amazing. The camaraderie, as you well know, they have supported us, even though we have literally not served ourselves. They've taken us in, and it's just amazing how tight that is.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you find that the military guys sort of, go towards your beer more than others, or I take it you must have had people message you, military guys across Canada, saying, "Wow, this thing, this beer is amazing." And where's the strangest picture you've ever seen a Buffalo 9 can?
Well,
oh my gosh, we've
been,
got so many great ones.
I think our cans have been to every province in Canada now.
Remember the one in Yukon too?
Yeah, there's guys in Yukon.
It's just like everywhere. But we also have so many Brits asking. They're seeing it somewhere, right? Because now they maybe are back home or whatnot, and they're wanting it, which we can't do. But
some folks in New Brunswick that were planting memorial trees, and they had they were Vimy memorial trees, and they had the cans inside.
We've had it in the jumper, like the seat. Remember the jumper seat?
Been on the beach in Nova Scotia.
Oh my God, in Nova Scotia. Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're hoping someday one of them will make it over to Europe. And
it's amazing.
And and
On one of the beaches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be fantastic.
Juno Beach, that'll be.
Oh,
There's another name you
love
could
that.
use, Juno. Call it the Juno.
Yeah.
So guys, obviously 2 years down the line, or 12 years down the line almost. Obviously you've got a lot of fans out there, and you guys are producing some amazing beer. I can attest to that. So have you got a final sort of message to all your customers around Canada and around the world, really?
Just a huge appreciation. Thank you so much for the support. Keep the feedback coming to us. We love to see that, and all the great pictures. It's a huge cheers to you all, because that's why we do this. So yeah, cheers.
And we can find you on all the social media platforms as well.
Social platforms, yes, that you can get your hands on. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our website.
Which is
buffalo9brewing.com, and that's with a number 9.
Cool. And it's just Buffalo 9 Brewing on all the socials and stuff like that. Yeah. So, all right. Well, listen. Thanks very much, guys. Obviously, I will now finish my Buffalo 9 Pilsner with you guys. Cheers. Thanks very much, and I wish you all the success and all the best for the future. Hope things go well. Cheers. So there you have it, guys. That was Lane and Kelsey, the owners of Buffalo 9 Brew Co. Just telling us a little bit about their brew company, when it was formed, why it was formed, and where they got the name of Buffalo 9 from. And I think it's outstanding. I really do. I think the way that they've give all of their cans so far, all of their beers so far, a military-related name. And for those veterans out there, for those serving soldiers out there that are based in Southern Alberta, make sure you keep your eye open in the shops for their 4 beers that they've got out on the shelves right now, or 3 beers on the shelves right now, and then the 4th coming pretty soon. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed the little conversation I had with those guys. Great people, fantastic to meet, and if you didn't know, they are now proud sponsors of the Military Biker channel. The Military Biker channel is now brought to you in partnership and sponsored by Buffalo 9 Brew Co. Which is really cool and awesome for the channel. So, guys, if you've got a chance to find Buffalo 9 Brew Co.'s beers on the shelf anywhere in Southern Alberta or across Canada, then please check it out. My personal favourite is the Peril in the Atlantic, and that's a Pilsner style beer. And like they said in the video, it's all of their stuff is military orientated, so it's fantastic, and every single can has a different story, and this one is obviously dedicated to the Battle of the Atlantic in World War II. So on this amazing, gorgeous, sunny Alberta fall afternoon, I'm going to go home now, and I'm going to enjoy a Peril in the Atlantic. So there we go. Great news for the channel. Great brewery and great people. So guys, if you do get a chance to drink it, try it out. Trust me, it's fantastic. I've had a little dabble of all their stuff over the past sort of couple of months, 3 months, and yeah, definitely my favourite brew by far that I can find locally here in Alberta. So as you can see, it's a stunning afternoon. Fall's coming, the trees are changing, and times are changing. So there you go. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to give it a thumbs up, and I will leave all the information to Buffalo 9 Brew Co. down below in the description, so you guys can go follow them on Instagram, Facebook, etc. So yeah, anyway, that's me. I am Stevie the Military Biker, and this has been another video. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Cheers guys, and remember, you'll never walk alone.